So Andrew, you've just given us an overview of the financial success triangle. Let's go into a little bit more detail on each of the sides. Talk us through it.
Okay, so we basically said triangle, three sides. There's three sides to the triangle. One was the mental side, one was the physical side, and the third side was the emotional or the subconscious side of the triangle, and that's generally the most neglected part in our society when it comes to dealing with money and so on.
Most people wouldn't have heard of it.
Yeah, well, that's right. Most people don't even contemplate it when they think
Exactly.
Dealing with money. So let's just quickly go over the mental side of things. The mental side is the system that you need to be applying to making money. Now, we have we are taught certain things about money in our society and ways to make money. And the primary way that we're taught to make money in our society is to get a good education and then go out and get a good job. And the better the education, apparently, the more you're supposed to earn and so on. Okay, the reality is that's not the case. I know this from personal experience and also through working with
lots and lots of people.
Through financial planning days and so on.
And you've worked with people from low net worth all the way up to very high
so
net
virtually
worth.
people who are less than broke, basically very far in debt, to people in multi-million-dollar businesses. Also been not just a financial planner, but also been a management consultant for 15 years, working with businesses and companies and organisations. And I've had companies which are up to $500 million in value, and I've looked at all that, how all that works and so on. Very similar issues with business as well, because it's all about people. People run companies, people build businesses, and people do the individual, the way they work individually, they handle money. So we get taught a certain way of making money. Now, the thing that you got to understand when the mental side of the triangle is how have you been taught to make money, and how do you make money? And one of the key things that we're all about in terms of our mental way we make money, or the system or the knowledge that we have on the mental side of the triangle, is that you need to make money in a way which is not directly related to your hours. Okay, so you can't be swapping your hours for dollars, okay, as your primary way of making money. The reason that's a problem is because the minute you stop working, or the minute you run out of hours, you stop earning. Okay, and so what we find is that a lot of people, when they do get a job and they do get successful, they have less of a life, less lifestyle, less time. So the system that you have in place to make money needs to be linked into making passive income, which basically means that you're not when you're not working, you're still making money. So when you're sleeping, you're making money. That's the thing. Passive income is the key. Now, the second side of the triangle is the physical.
Physical?
Is the physical side.
Tell
of
us
things.
about that.
Okay. Well, once again, this is an area that most people are taught to do in our society. It's not as prevalent as the mental side, because we go to school for years and years and years. We go to university for years and years. I mean, you've got more degrees than a thermometer.
I can vouch for that.
And maybe those degrees.
I'm glad I met you.
Yeah.
Learn this system.
And those degrees have possibly maybe not as useful as far as making money is concerned. You probably.
Well, I did work in a job for a while, and it just didn't work.
Yeah.
So I didn't like the model, and I didn't like there's no leverage.
Okay.
Exactly what you're saying.
So, but you've had the physical commitment, haven't you, to get ahead and do what you're supposed to do?
Have.
Okay. So once you've got that right system in place, if you've got the system correct and how to make money, there's actually a physical commitment at some level that you need to commit to. Now, that physical commitment might be financial, it might be actual time spent, it might be you have to buy a little bit of equipment, or it might be something, but there's generally a physical commitment involved. Sometimes, if you're clever, it's not as much as most people think it is. And when you look at some traditional businesses, and some of the traditional business and physical commitment that you have to make in a traditional business, most of the strategies that I'm involved with, and that most people that my peers and friends are involved in, the physical commitment isn't as great as maybe say a restaurant or something like that, where you can spend hundreds of thousands of dollars setting up and have to be there all the time and all that type of stuff. So, but there is a physical commitment at some level, and most people don't understand what that is. Now, the thing about physical commitment is that you can actually generally outsource that physical commitment. You can get somebody else doing things for you, and if you leverage your time, that physical commitment can be given to somebody else. But you need to take responsibility for it and then make sure that it happens.
And you've got to be aware that you can do that.
Yeah,
and learn from people who are doing it.
That's exactly right. Cool.